And tonight, I mean, it felt like the first night where penalties really played a key role in the game. Really kind of start to finish in some ways. What was your overall read on the situation tonight?
Didn't really notice them much. Second half, I certainly did. First half, didn't notice them as much. And clearly needs to be refocused on. Possibly environment has some influence, but really my job is to prepare our team to where there's no slippage and our standards hold regardless. So some before the play, some during, some after, so wide variety, and certainly got in our own way down the stretch with that.
How much were you guys monitoring the potential quarterback change heading into this game?
Monitoring, heard signs or hints along the way, verified Friday, and that was when we became certain.
Thorne was obviously, much more of a runner and all that. In terms of just, attacking Brown tonight with the team, what was kind of the approach there and the focus?
Really, the focus was still on us. The first half went much more according to plan. Made enough stops, turnovers. There are two scores, short field scores. Two of the possessions were short field scores, and there was one big play. And so that was more as what we had hoped the second half would be like as well. We didn't have nearly as much success consistency-wise defensively the second half, making the stops we needed to.
I don't have the numbers in front of me for the red zone stuff, but first half, red zone numbers, I can't imagine they were phenomenal in some ways. They get walkaways from field goals and some opportunities and all that, but, obviously touchdowns preferred there. Just what was kind of your overall view on that? We were aggressive. We worked hard to get touchdowns rather than field goals, but yeah, our numbers weren't great, but we certainly were aggressive, and that was the intent, but work to do. And in terms of just the second half too, they come out, they score 2 touchdowns off their first 2 drives and all that. It's just another third quarter swing there. What was kind of the message of the half, and what is in terms of the second half?
Yeah, the message was really ownership of execution, assignments, and just consistency. And so there wasn't a drastic change in message. We already knew that we were capable. That was demonstrated in half one. We were hoping for, again, just clean execution, playing within our assignment, within our technique, and having the results similar to what we had the first half. But that didn't happen.
What was your read on Bryce's performance tonight?
Say it again.
Bryce.
Oh man, he battled hard. I think one of the pass interference calls, I thought he was in great position, but I think he battled hard.
There was, I think it was Devin's second interception. It looked like it might have been a pick on RD. Did you have a good, clean view of that play, or?
I didn't. No, it was hard to see. Devin's doing a really nice job. He's a very good quarterback, and glad he's on our team.
Sideline and helmet communications went out very briefly in some ways. How were they just managed overall tonight in terms of the environment and what we did?
Really not many issues sideline communication-wise. Noise certainly a factor, and we'd worked on that from Monday all the way through as loud as we could make it. Still some issues with handling that well in terms of false starts or procedures.
I know individual numbers are kind of hollow after a loss and all that, but this is kind of a career night for RD, 6 catches for 100 yards. If your college football to reach that mark finally, how do you feel with the guy?
He's had a great season so far, just trustworthy and consistent and gritty and tough and productive, and combination of he and Luke right now, really encouraged by that. But I also saw Caleb and Nick Trujillo step up this evening, so I was encouraged by that too.
And you spoke earlier this week about kind of the importance of adding more offensive playmakers, maybe 1, 2, 3, or 4 at this point. It did seem like the ball got spread around more in the pass game as well. Trujillo had a couple that kind of one was a losing touchdown, and a couple that just kind of fell short. How did you feel the offense was in terms of kind of getting those guys out?
Yeah, I thought we did a really nice job, yardage-wise especially. I bet there wasn't a significant difference between Auburn and us in terms of yards. Now finishing and red zone and scoring, that was where I think the separation occurred.
Let's go to the Zoom. Anyone on our Zoom?
Hey, Coach, you scored in 3 of your first 4 possessions. So this it was interesting right off the bat. I mean, I'm just curious what the mood, what the feeling was like on the sideline when it was a game early on.
Oh, we know we're capable, and so we were encouraged, excited, and what we had prepared for. And I don't think anyone was surprised. We were just encouraged and looking to do that again in the second half.
Anybody else in the Zoom?
Coach, Auburn, were they the same team pretty much that lost to Cal 21-14 last week? I mean, Cal's barely beating San Diego State 7-3 now. Was that big of a difference with the quarterback? And how frustrating is it? The Lobos have 400-something yards total offense. They had 500 yet, not being able to convert in the red zone.
Yeah,
Huge factor.
it was a huge factor. Biggest difference, I think, so a week ago, Cal had 5 extra possessions through turnovers. And so that had something to do with maybe why the quarterback changed and scoring potential. But 5 possessions is a pretty significant swing. And so I think that was a big part of last week.
And everybody healthy, Coach?
Don't know yet. Still remains to be seen.
All right, anybody else?
Great, thanks.
Thank you, Bronco.